ridiculous.
I wanted to come on here and I wanted to address reality TV stars, in particular black women, because the reality is that black women get a bad rep for basically being as a whole promiscuous women who don't really want anything in life but some shoes and some hair and a glamorous lifestyle and drama. And that is just not the reality. Are there black women who have this thing in life where, I just want to go back and forth with people. I just want to be a drama queen. I just want materialistic things. I want my name to be out there. I want people to know who I am on the gram and so on. Yes. Okay. But the reality is that all black women are not like that. And so you have black men on social media and other men too. But more in particular, I'm addressing black men, and I'm not saying all, because I have to keep putting that out there in every video. Not all black men, because there's going to be one who's going to come and say, well, black men this and that, and trying to defend themselves. And if I'm not addressing you, then there's no reason to be feeling like you're offended, at the end of the day. But that has to be said. So anyway, so you do have black men, for that matter, who do and are vocal about black women and generalize them. And I truly believe that not all of them really think that. I just think that they know that if they can make this as if this is every black woman, then this statement has to be the case. It has to be true. Because look what's on TV. Look what's in the media. Look what these black women are representing themselves to be. You have black women who are very educated, who are successful business women, who are entrepreneurs, and they do not embody these women, period. You got this situation with Portia and Kandi. Now, am I a consistent viewer of the show? Absolutely not. In fact, I don't even think I've watched I don't think I even watched an entire episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta or any of these Real Housewives shows. But I want to address them in this video because I think that it's relevant. I think it's something that needs to be said. And I'm not going to bite my tongue on it. So this is what I feel about this situation. Okay, so first and foremost, to my knowledge, based on the blogs, you have these two women going back and forth this particular season that there was some accusations in regards to lesbianism and, Portia being accused of dealing with Kandi and Kandi claims that she has text messages showing that that's the case. And then on the latest episode, basically you have Portia saying that someone told her that, Kandi, and I'm going to say her husband, I believe, according to these blogs, all right, are stating that, Portia's accusing her based on what somebody told her that they try to give her drugs, okay, in order to deal with them. So, in a sexual manner. So, Kenny got set, apparently, according to this snippet that I seen on social media, and she's basically stating that these claims are not the case, that it's not true. So, why do I even address this? Because, as I stated earlier, when people watch these shows, immediately it's this perception that, look at these black women, they can't get along, they always are arguing, and it just really is, it's a shame because, that's not the truth for every sister and her, when it comes to her friendship and so on with other women that happens to be black like her, okay? You have a lot of black women who can get along with other women and they're not trying to be combative with one another. But when you watch these reality shows, I mean, you would have, one would be led to believe that that's what the reality is for black women in everyday life that they can't get along with one another, that they are loud, and all the other stereotypes that go with it. Now, even on this particular network, Bravo, they also have a series with um, doctors or women that are married to doctors. And I believe it's called Married to Medicine. And I have seen also on the blogs that it happens to be that on this particular show, where you have these women who happen to be entrepreneurs or married to, as I stated earlier, to physicians, that they as well cannot get along on that show. And they're trying to give you this perception that even if you are a doctor, you just can't, and you're a black woman, you just can't get along with nobody. You're still basically how the saying goes that you could take the, you know, you could take her out the hood, but so many words, you can't take the hood out of her, and so on. And I don't believe that to be the case. I think the reality is that even if you go into the hood, you have a lot of black women who don't have the stereotypical ratchet behavior that a lot of people wanted to just immediately, just stick it to black people that that's how they are. They're all ratchet. They don't want to fight and so on, and that's a problem. That really is a problem, and it also is something that needs to be addressed as well because you have these black men who are saying, "Oh, date out, date out your race," because these black women here, look how they act, and so on, and to me, I feel like as though that that's just a excuse because with anybody, whether you when it comes to dating out of your race, because you just basically are dealing with certain women, and then you're like, oh, I'm not going to be dealing with this race of women anymore. But what about the quiet black girl or the one who's basically has her head always in the books? A lot of times, what you have is you have black men who overlook these type of women because the reality is that you have a number of black men who are attracted to that type of woman who has that ratchet behavior, and that's why you see these type of women on a pedestal when it comes to the media in regards to who they're going to put in the media to represent black women, and that's a problem. Okay, I keep saying it's a problem because it is. I mean, the reality is that you have a lot of rappers who, have. Well, I will say that there was a time period when you had a big representation of black women, and what they would present themselves as, basically gold diggers and, thoughts, okay, and ratchet women, ratchet black women, and and that has been this thing now where it seems like a number of black women want to be like these type of women. They want to dress like them. They want to basically wear what they're wearing, keep up with their fashion that as if it's like some type of trend or whatever to be like these women that they see. Now, of course, you have just the simple fact that you have black women who grow up in the environment and they just happen to adapt to these behaviors. But I mean, the reality is that you have different types of black women. Like I stated earlier, you have quiet black women and so on who and then you have the ones who are educated, they're not loud and so on, and that stereotypical uh, attachment they like to put on us and so on. So you have a variety of black women that black men can choose from and so on. But yeah, I just wanted to address this because you know I don't plan on watching this show. I think I might even believe that also based on what I'm hearing that this might just be all made up. This might just be a storyline to keep the attention on the show because Nene apparently was not on this season. So what else is there to talk about? Apparently, this happens to be the storyline. And what I've noticed is that even with Love and Hip Hop uh, seasons that come up, a lot of times what they have done recently is they've made it is that these black women are gay. So I do believe that it is an agenda as well, to basically, uh, you know, to have black women be more open to being gay. So, yeah, I just wanted to leave my comments on this. You guys can go ahead and leave a comment below. As I stated earlier, I do not watch the show. I can't, it won't hold my interest. And the fact that this is being recycled in the news media in regards to the show won't get me to watch it even anymore.